Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Man versus Line. This is the season 1 finale, episode 16. We got a great show for you, per usual. We have a stranger on the podcast today. I don't know if you're listening to this, you might want to go check out video for today's episode. We have a stranger on the podcast. We're welcoming back our Alabama fan friend Elkins after a successful victory. But without further ado, let's go.
Dude, I'm telling you what, I told everybody all week, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lau Minard. For those of you who don't know me, I tried to tell everybody all week, Alabama money line was the play here. As a lot of you guys know, I put $750 on Alabama money line, and they made me rich this weekend. I tried to tell everybody all week, Alabama money line was the play. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Everybody talked about how good that Georgia defense was, how Stetson Bennett was the highest passing rating quarterback. Nah, Bryce Young is the real deal. Alabama is the team this year. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Even Elkins didn't think Alabama was going to win this game. And, man, I don't know what to tell y'all. Start listening to me more often. Lau Minard.
There you go. Also, wow. So I heard maybe you're close friends with Dan Mullen, right? Is that what it is?
No.
I'll put in a picture here. Or is that the other guy?
That's the other guy. That's my buddy. You know, he had a rough week, man. That guy, that
Mal.
yeah, that poor guy. He's a big Georgia fan. He really was thought this was going to be the year that Georgia was able to get over that hump. I heard, we made identical bets whenever it comes to the amount wagered, but he put it on Georgia, and he lost a lot. He lost a lot of money on that game. Luckily, I tried to tell Mal, Alabama money line was the play. Obviously, Nick Saban was going to come out in a must-win game and win the game. I mean, if you didn't think that, you're an idiot. I mean, whoever did not think that Alabama was going to come out in a must-win game and win, you're an idiot. So, but poor Mal, man. But yeah, Mal actually he got to meet Dan Mullen this weekend. Talked to him for about 3 or 4 minutes. He knows about football. He was telling me Dan Mullen's actually a really cool guy. Just super happy for him. He didn't seem too down in the dumps after the loss. I think he knows. Georgia's in the playoffs. They got a chance to come back. So yeah. I mean, I'm really happy for him. He seems to be in good spirits.
Did you happen to ask Mal? Does he regret like calling Dan Mullen a clown? Does he regret that?
He doesn't regret it. Just because he was ignorant at the time whenever he called him a clown. Dan Mullen, whenever it comes to college football coaching, yes, I would agree. Dan Mullen is a clown, but as a personable guy, he's a great guy. He's a really good guy, really cool guy. But yeah, whenever it comes to saying we'll worry about recruiting in the offseason, yeah, Dan Mullen's a clown for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Lyle. And Elkins, let me get right over to you. How does it feel? Since Mal's not here, I can talk like this. How does it feel to get to shut up these stupid-ass Georgia fans? It seems like I've seen this movie 3 times in my life, and it just keeps getting funny. It's like watching Step Brothers over and over again. It just gets better and better every time I watch it.
There's 2 ways I could go about answering this question, Dylan. And I think the answer Saban would want me to give is the job's not finished.
That's a good answer. And I mean,
that's a good answer.
I'll speak for you, dude. It feels really good, especially me saying, pick Alabama all week. Everybody was against me. It feels amazing. Just all these cocky Georgia fans, man. They didn't fucking play anybody all year. They hadn't played anybody. Who's their best win? Kentucky? Ooh. Arkansas? Ooh. They didn't play anybody all year, and they thought just because Alabama played all these teams close that they were going to come in and just wipe the floor with Alabama. And well, we saw Nick Saban answers.
And I will say this: me and Mal had a conversation. I would guess maybe like early September. I don't care how good Georgia is right now in September. Alabama doesn't have to worry about playing Georgia in September or October. It's about how good is Alabama going to be playing in December when it matters. And Alabama hasn't played good at all until the game that mattered the most, and it was the SEC championship, and we got it done. We showed up. Got the wins in the must-win games against LSU, Auburn, Tennessee, those games. We got the wins. Not impressive results, but hell, we're playing good right now, and I would say we are the number 1 team in the country after that performance.
Yeah. I mean, Mal didn't tell me about that conversation y'all had, but I mean, I can't. I don't know. I can't really speak for him. I don't know if he agreed with you or not whenever y'all had that conversation, but I mean, yeah, you're 100% right. Alabama, they did not really look good all year until it mattered, and I think that's just a nutshell of Nick Saban. He's going to put the best product out on the field when it matters, and he's going to get the job done.
So, Lau, let me ask you a question. Why are you wearing a mask right now?
We're
the Omicron variant.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
The Omicron variant.
Omicron.
I'm just trying to protect myself inside my own home from COVID-19. Do not want to catch that. Been vaccinated 18 times. So I'm just trying to protect myself.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it. But yeah, just trying to protect myself from the new and even worse and even more, scary Omicron variant.
I got you. Well, it's a real shame Mal couldn't be here, especially season 1 finale. He was going to eat so much crow, but congrats to you, Lau. You made the right pick, and it seems like you made a whole lot of money off this week.
We did.
Speaking of making money, UTSA, man, come back. It's like they're back. Like they lost the game last week they almost had a perfect season, and then it was a great ending. I made so much money off them. Took Utah money line again. I mean, Oregon's trash, man.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that Oregon beat Ohio State, Ohio State, if they don't lose to Oregon earlier in the year and they lose to Michigan, I think they would still probably get in.
Yeah,
I think so too.
But I mean, it also goes back to kind of what Elkins was saying whenever Alabama wasn't playing its best at the start of the year, and that's kind of the flaw. I don't want to say the flaw in the college football playoff, but why I think we do need to expand it, because you can not start off the greatest and finish the year as one of the best teams in the country. But if you have 1 or 2 bad losses at the start of the year, then you're out. You're done. It's over. Right. Season's over. Career's over. Life's over. You're dead. And that's an inside joke, but shout out Kit Carpenter. Actually, yeah, Mal told me about that though. I didn't play for Kit Carpenter. I'm just Lau.
So, also, I have to point out, Billy Napier did his press conference this week at Florida. He made a statement that was a little controversial, already rubbing people the wrong way. He was talking about, because obviously he has to put together a signing class rather quickly. I'm not kidding. This guy said, we may not have any 4 and 5 stars come here. And that's okay. We don't need them. And then he said, I don't really care about stars. Stars don't mean nothing to us.
Oh, no.
Already.
No.
I mean,
not off to a great start. Not a great start.
He's not wrong.
I see where he's coming from exactly. Like, some of the best players in college football are 3, 2-star athletes, whatever.
Yes.
But you still need those guys, those 4 or 5 stars, because they're going to be providing straight away as a true freshman talent. Go ahead, Mal.
I want to make a point. I think that was actually a really good statement that he could have made, because as of right now, the state of Florida's program, I don't think he really needs to be targeting all those 5 stars, because you're in competition with all these other teams when you could be focusing on those 3, low tier 4 stars. You get those guys in there, you win enough games. The high tier 4 stars and the 5 stars will come. If you build a winning program, those will come.
Gotcha. So, Lyle, is Mal somewhere close? Can we bring him onto the show, or is he completely out of the building?
He's gone right now. He might be back a little later. I don't know.
Okay, it's just the mask and the mic is a little. It's a little hard to hear, but it's fine. We'll let you be, Lau. You decided to stay safe. We'll let you be safe. Yeah. Also, let's break it down. Alabama 1, Michigan 2, Georgia 3, Cincinnati 4. Okay. Do we even have to talk about the Alabama-Cincy game? 13.5. It's going to climb.
We're
not talking about the bets yet, but if you're going to bet it, take it. Please.
This is the Dodgers versus the Braves.
Rat poison.
Man.
Rat poison.
Really, y'all are calling rat on this game.
But in all seriousness, I looked at the Georgia Alabama game. I woke up this morning and I don't know why I thought this, but I was like, it's going to piss some Georgia fans off when I say this, but Georgia that's still the team to beat, and the Braves are the equivalent to Alabama this year. This is a team who has gone through the valley, who had no hope. We were a 2-loss team at the end of the regular season. That was a fact. We had no chance of beating Auburn, and we erased all doubt. And we came back 7 days later and beat the team to beat. We beat the 85 Bears. We beat the best team in the nation. We are still just those guys who don't mean much to the college football world. Georgia's still the team to beat. And, it fires me up because this team had nothing really to play for at one point in that Auburn game and lost all hope. There was no reason to be even a freaking thought. But you know what? These guys overcame so much, and they're SEC champions. If we don't win the damn natty, I don't care. This is a young team who overcame so much this year. Sorry for the mini rant, but just had to get that off.
I totally agree. And that's the scary part for, all these big-headed Georgia fans is, what they don't want to admit is that Alabama is so young this year, and they just bent you over and kicked your ass sideways with that young and, quite frankly, not the most disciplined and not the most experienced team. And they just bent you over and kicked your ass sideways. So all the big-headed Georgia fans are not ready to admit that just yet, that, Alabama, the dynasty's not dead. It's long from that. So.
Gotcha. So Elkins, I got to ask you, what do you think about your boy not getting an invite to the Heisman?
He wasn't going to win it. Everybody knows that. But at the end of the day, the Heisman committee is just racist. You take the white edge rusher.
Wow.
You take the white edge rusher from Michigan.
Wow.
Whose numbers are not even close to Will's. And, I get he's the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, blah, blah, blah. But this is probably one of the best edge rushers we've ever seen in the SEC. And, numbers-wise, if you look at the past 10 years, the only player that comes close to his numbers, Aaron Donald. Yeah. And he is still a good bit behind of what Will Anderson is. Yeah. I don't understand the thought process, but I don't think it was really close, no matter who gets invited. I mean, it's great to go and be a part of it, but Bryce Young's going to win the Heisman.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know.
He very much deserves to.
I don't think I think it helps, if anything, for Alabama not having him invited, because it's just going to fuel him more. Like, clearly I wasn't enough, so I'm going to have to come out and play harder. Like, this is already a monster, and they're
also, speaking of supposedly to be invited to the Heisman, Jordan Davis got demolished Saturday.
Well, that entire
man got owned.
So, from me, a neutral, just a neutral watching that game Saturday, Georgia's defense in that second quarter just fell apart. But when you actually go in and look, they gave up that touchdown to start the second half, and they only allowed 3 more points in the rest of that game. I mean, without a pick six from Stetson, who the hell 5'2" midget Bennett, I mean, that game's still wide open. Georgia's offense, man, it's the same story that we've been saying for the entirety of this football program. It feels like.
When you say we, Lau, are you saying your allegiance is with Georgia?
No. I'm a neutral. I'm sorry.
You have no allegiance at all. Do you just like?
I just love college football. I was saying we. So this is as if what Mal would want me to say. Because me.
So Mal's behind the camera with
no.
decks of slides, just like
no. This is me and Mal. Really.
You better say this.
Me and Mal are really close friends. We talk quite a bit, but he would want me to say it's the same story that Georgia's been dealing with. Their offensive woes, really just red zone woes. They were able to move the ball, except for that second quarter. Georgia was able to move the ball up and down the field against Alabama's defense. They got in the red zone, and I don't know. It just seems like they panicked. They stopped going to their 6'7" tight end. 6'7". They have a 6'7" tight end. Went to him once in the red zone, and guess what? He scored a touchdown.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That was his first touchdown of the year, though.
It might have been. Honestly, as not a big Georgia fan, I'm not too sure about all the Georgia player stats. because I'm not a massive Georgia fan. I just know that he's a 6'7" tight end, and they went to him one time in the red zone, and he absolutely mossed on one of Alabama safeties, and then they didn't do it again. So, I mean, I don't know if that's just scheming. I really don't know, but they got to the red zone
and as an Alabama fan, I like watching Georgia, and Darnell Washington's one of the coolest players in college football just because he's an athlete as big as he is.
And he's a dad.
Yeah, I admire that too. Yeah, that's.
Do you know who really rubs me the wrong way?
Who's that?
Desmond Ritter. I don't know why. Do we always have to do a segment on his kid every time he plays a game? Do we always have to talk about his kid? I mean,
it's almost like Jake Fromm in the Little League World Series.
There's so many other college people that have kids that are playing.
Yeah.
None of them get set. Every time that man steps on the field, here's a picture of Desmond Ritter's wife and kids. Yeah, he loves them. They're so happy. Like, I mean, yeah, I bet they are. But why is this being talked about right now? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, well, his kid's going to be crying after he gets stumped by about 30.
Okay.
First round.
Rat poison. Don't rat poison.
It's not. And you cannot sit here and look me dead in the face and tell me Cincinnati will keep this game within 20.
I'm saying I would not.
If you did, I'd laugh in your face. And call
I'm
you
saying as a neutral fan, Cincinnati's there for a reason. Cincinnati's not going to go down easy. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to be a close game. I'm just going to sit here and say it wouldn't shock me if it was close in the first half and a little bit into the second half.
The way I see it,
Alabama's talent really starts to take over.
The way I see it is absolutely I agree. Cincinnati is there for a reason, and they've shown something this year. Alabama, on the other hand, has an opportunity because in years past, the team that plays the more competitive game in the semifinal often goes on to lose because it's an emotional game they play, whereas the other side, a team like Alabama and Cincinnati, Alabama could go and blow out Cincinnati 42-3, no emotion involved in that game, whatever. Alabama rests their starter second half and set up themselves perfectly for the championship. So I think it's an opportunity for Alabama to just come in, take care of business, get a great lead in the first half, get Bryce Young the hell off the field, get Will Anderson off the field, rest your boys, and prepare for war because national championship is going to be a war.
And I mean, speaking of that, does that go into your, Michigan Georgia pick, or not pick, but does that go into what you feel like?
Yeah, I do think the Michigan Georgia game is going to be much more competitive than the Alabama Cincinnati game. I think that goes without saying, but it just depends. I mean, I think both Alabama and Georgia will meet again, but it's just a matter of how much goes in to each of those games.
Wait a minute.
It doesn't matter. Georgia might have gotten destroyed this Saturday by Alabama, but if you watch that game, if you watch the game tape, if you look at everything that happened, Georgia played Alabama close. Georgia, they know that they belong, right? And they're out for fucking blood. They're out for fucking blood after what happened Saturday. Michigan does not stand a fucking chance in this game. Georgia's going to go out. And they're going to take Michigan and bend them over. Michigan has not been fucking tested all year. They play in the Big Ten, the most awful conference in the nation. Michigan sucks. Said it, don't regret it. Georgia's a -6.5 favorite in this game. For whatever reason, I don't know. This game should be double-digit spread. Michigan does not have the offense that can keep up like Alabama did with Georgia's defense. And quite frankly, Michigan's defense hasn't faced a run game like Georgia's, nor have they faced a quarterback like Stetson Bennett.
It was Mal the whole time. It was you the whole time. You didn't. Wow.
And I'm telling you guys one thing. All these cocky-ass Alabama fans after beating Georgia, you know what's the best damn thing that can fucking happen? All y'all cocky-ass motherfuckers, that's the best damn thing.
I'm not cocky.
You want to know one thing? You motherfuckers? All right, 2017, Georgia-Auburn. What happened? They got their asses humbled, and then what happened afterwards? They went back and they destroyed Auburn in the SEC championship.
That's
so y'all
Auburn,
remember that.
though.
Y'all remember. I don't give a shit who it is. You get your ass humbled.
Auburn.
You get your ass humbled one good time, and you're out for blood. It's revenge season. Get ready. Michigan's next.
well, now that you're here, Mal, wow, what an entrance, by the way. Now that you're here, so do you? I mean, I guess that covers all your remarks from last week. I mean, there's nothing else you really want to say, or what?
Everything that needed to be said has been said already.
Okay. All right, but since the emotions are high, let's bring them down. No college football for 10 more days at least, minimum 10 days. No college football.
No,
Not
not true.
well. No, Saturday.
Saturday.
So
The
Yeah.
biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
Yep. So we won't have. We'll be okay. We only have to go. We only have to go 5 days without football.
We'll have to go 5 days.
Let's go.
Port Louisiana Cajun Boil Gumbo Bowl.
Cheez-It Bowl with Clemson. Something.
Uh,
Speaking of, let's go ahead and say it. We're getting to season 1 of or episode 2. Wait, oh my God, I'm having a seizure here. Episode 1 of season 2. We'll talk about. We'll cover all the bowl games. Talk about all that jazz. But if you're not taking Tennessee minus 2.5, what are you doing? What are you doing? We have a history of slaughtering mediocre Big Ten teams. We've never lost in a bowl game to a Big Ten team.
Yeah.
We will slaughter Purdue. It will not be any different.
I will be for Tennessee in that game, and actually, I will
there.
be for every SEC team because
That's right.
having 13
We're the best
teams
conference.
bowl eligible is rare.
Now, if we can get all 13 of them to win their games, that looks real good. If we win 9 or 10 out of the 13, we'll be good.
Oh, 100%.
Anything less than that, disappointment.
Disappointment. Straight disappointment.
Disappointment. Won't take it.
Nope. The SEC is the best conference in football this year.
By far.
Dude, it's going to show. It's going to show.
Like you guys realize even Vandy was competitive most games this year. Do you guys realize that?
Yeah. I mean, not against Georgia or,
Well, like against Missouri and
against Missouri, South Carolina,
even Ole Miss,
Kentucky, they were competitive against Kentucky. Yeah, so I think that's that. But is there anything else we want to talk about before we get to our bets? I know this is probably going to be a rather short episode, but
I'm just saying,
not much to talk about this week.
We've all said it. Everything that's been said is need to be said. If you think Georgia's down and out, God, I feel bad for you because there's nothing worse than a team out for blood. There's nothing worse. And not only that, when you are the most talented team in the nation and you just got your ass humbled, I'm in a great spot right now, boys. I feel amazing.
I feel ready. Mouse.
I definitely would agree, Mal. I think for Alabama, we're already at that state. We had to win on Saturday to make the playoffs, because we wouldn't have made it with Cincinnati winning and Michigan both winning. We needed one of them to lose if we lost, and they both ended up winning.
Conspiracy theory time. Did Kirby throw the game on purpose?
No. No.
Why
would he voluntarily play Alabama twice?
What if there's this is where we get into the conspiracy aspect here. But there are higher powers in the SEC and in football that
so they cut him a check.
Would arguably say that a Georgia-Alabama national championship is better for football than a Michigan-Alabama or Cincinnati-Alabama national championship.
Agreed.
Because when those two teams are playing at their best, just like we saw in 2017-18 season, the 2018 SEC championship, and honestly, Saturday, that was still a great game. Georgia just let it. Honestly, and then my honest thoughts. I mean, I'll get into my honest thoughts about Saturday because I haven't really done that. Georgia came out hot. They just didn't keep going. Like I said, we have Darnell Washington, man. We didn't use him. Straight away from the run for whatever reason. I mean, the game was still manageable in that second half. We didn't really have to go passing the ball, trying to do that all around the field. Just didn't get it really to our playmakers enough. Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington, Lai McConkey. Those are our three best playmakers. George Pickens was a ghost Saturday. He made one big catch down there, driving towards, the Georgia end zone. He made one big catch down there to get him in the red zone. And I can't remember if they capitalized off that or not. But it was just red zone mistake after red zone mistake, and that's ultimately what cost Georgia this football game, along with the two interceptions. So you get those straightened out, Georgia's going to be in a very good position to win a national championship this year.
Fair play, but I do want to. I want to have one more closing remark here for college football. Shout out the SEC West 4 in a row, and you want to argue about the best college football teams in the past 5 years. You're talking about last year's Alabama and the year before that LSU. Georgia has been eliminated from that conversation by losing on Saturday.
Georgia was never in that conversation because of.
I think they were because of their defense. I really do. I'm being genuine and serious. I think Georgia was in that conversation with their defense.
Well,
but
every good
98 Vols.
Every good defense has to have a great offense to counteract that, because as we saw in the second quarter, it snowballed, man. It was Georgia scored a touchdown, Alabama scores to tie it up, and then 3 and out, and that led to a basically 17 unanswered points, and Alabama to go on a 24-7 run. So I mean, that's second quarter is ultimately what cost the game. The offensive woes in the second quarter. And you had to have a good – same thing whenever Georgia played LSU in 2019, right? That game was 17-3 or 17-3 at halftime. Georgia allowed LSU to 17 points in the first half, and that was consistently going 3 and out. LSU only put up 17. If you don't have a good offense that can keep, your defense off the field, it doesn't matter.
It's true. I think it's tough. I agree that Georgia did have a very dominant year this year, but I kind of agree with them. I don't think they're ever really in that conversation.
No, I couldn't have ever put us in that conversation. I mean, just because, the fashion we won games in, I would argue did put us in that conversation. But if you just look at straight up Stetson Bennett, that's all you have to know to be able to just go, well, okay, maybe Georgia could be the third best team ever in college football behind the Alabama LSU. But
not anymore.
I don't think you could even put them in that conversation. And they still very well could be in that conversation. There's only been 2 teams to go 15. Wait, no, Clemson did it. Never mind.
Yeah, Clemson did it.
That's true.
And, last year's Alabama didn't play a full season, but I would argue it was a harder season because they played only SEC opponents.
Yeah.
I would argue it was harder.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
You just got to think. Y'all played 10 SEC games?
Yeah, including all SEC, all of our SEC West opponents, and added Georgia, toughest team from the East. We played Florida.
That's like a regular season game. That's important.
We beat the SEC East champ and Florida, who actually had probably their best team since Tebow.
Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive team last year.
That was way more impressive because instead of playing 3 or 4 non-con games, y'all played 10 conference games or 11 conference games if you want to count the SEC championship, and just purely dominated all those, except for the SEC championship because Florida was great last year.
We watched that in Boca. That was a fun one. That was a fun one, boys.
Yeah,
I was sweating, dude. I was pounding the beers.
that was fun.
Throwing them down, man. I was sweating.
But yeah, I still, like I said, I still think Georgia's in the driver's seat for the national championship. Michigan obviously is a way better team than Cincinnati, just for obvious reasons. But when you get down to it, Georgia, they are out for blood. They'll go in. They'll fix most of that shit, hopefully. And that's another thing. If you look at Kirby Smart, he changed the defense completely from what he ran all year. They're running a completely different defense. Offensively, they just got away from what they did best. It just seemed weird. And another thing Kirby's got to do, Kirby, you got to keep your best damn players on the field. All right. I don't give a shit if Jordan Davis is tired for one play. I don't give a shit if, Keely Ringo or all these guys are tired. Like, on defense, you got to keep your best players on there. And if George Pickens played, and I get he's coming back from an injury, but George Pickens did not play the majority of that game.
Yeah, I don't really understand it on the offensive side, but you need to rotate on defense regardless.
You have to.
You got to. Because Georgia's to the point now where they're deep enough, and Alabama's been deep enough for 10 years now where you rotate. But it hurts when you don't have the best of the best out there, but you still got to do it.
No, I mean, you're definitely deep enough to rotate, but dude, in the fashion that Georgia rotates, I mean, rotating basically your entire defense out. You got to keep some of your best.
You got to rotate front four. So, I mean, that's essentially
exactly.
that. Rotate front four.
And then
front four. But
yeah.
But I mean, we're pulling cornerbacks off the field.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah, it just seemed weird, man. It just seemed weird.
Yeah. I got you. But let's go ahead and let's kick it over to our bets. I only have 5 this week. I have 4 NFL and 1 college game being Army versus Navy. Everyone knows that. Let's get a little bit of math here, okay? So my first bet, if you were to bet it the past 15 years, you'd be 15-0.
The under.
The under.
Let's go.
Total is at 34.5 right now.
I'm hammering the under.
Psych! Give me the over. It's 34.5. For the first time in 15 years, the over is hitting. I think this Army offense can score points. Hell, they put up 70 against Wake Forest. 34 is nothing against a bad Navy team. Give me Army, Navy, over 34.5, plus 100. Make a lot of money on this game. Put a lot of money on it. No one thinks over's going to hit, but it will. The streak's ending this Saturday.
Dylan, you're thinking like a gambler again. You're thinking.
I don't care. I'm taking it. It's a 3 and a 4, and then a 5. It's a 3 and a 4 and a dot and a 5 for a total amount. Listen. It's a 3 and a 4 and a dot and a 5.
Do you think Vegas is that stupid that they would put that?
Hey,
that total, right?
I don't care.
Dylan, if you bet the under, you hate fun.
That's right.
You're literally rooting for the defense to just get stops over and over again.
Okay. If you're watching this game, you hate fun. It's 2 triple option teams.
It's America. It's America's teams, though, man.
Fair enough.
Hey,
but
so I'm taking the over. I love it. Give it to me.
I'm taking the under, and I'm taking Army minus 7.5 in that game. Just because Army is, like you said, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, Army's good. I rode the hell out of Army the first few weeks this year. Rode them a lot. Elkins, do you have anything in that game?
I've got Army, and I've actually got their stats up here. I'm probably going to take a prop bet on Army's quarterback to have over whatever his passing yards is. So, yeah, Army 7.5, and I'm not going to touch the total.
Let's be honest here. If Army would just throw the ball.
It's kind of funny because like
they've fallen. These military academies have fallen, except for Air Force, really, have fallen in such a stereotype almost. They feel like they have to earn the. But we saw against Wake Forest, if Army would just throw the ball every 6 or 7 plays, you'll get a lot of big breaks. You'll get so many. It's what I don't understand. If you're an offense coordinator, Army, throw the ball every 10 plays or something, and it will work for you tremendously.
If a baby just swam when it was dropped in water, it wouldn't drown. It's not a part of their nature, dude. It's not. It
doesn't matter. The quarterback can throw. He's proved he can throw. Why not let the kid throw?
Hey, the Patriots are the new Army, though.
Yeah.
After last night, man.
Mac Jones 1 for 3, baby. What a stat line.
Yeah.
Shout out Pats -3 last night. Great bet. Reverse spread. Woo. That was sweet. Plus 185. Take it to the house.
Not a love it. How many bets you say you had this week, Dylan? 5. I have 10.
How?
You scraping the barrel? What? Did you bet every NFL
There's
game
not even a college football slate.
Okay.
I just want to say something. I have went underdog heavy in the NFL this week. I feel like it's going to be one of those weeks. I feel like it's going to be one of those weeks. I have went underdog heavy in the NFL. When you see the Buffalo Bills coming off of a loss like they had, plus 145 going to Tampa Bay, where Josh Allen can sling the ball, because he didn't get that arm is fresh, baby. That arm is fresh.
I will say this somehow: this Buffalo team is not.
They're not
like years past. They're not a good team.
They're not like years past, but
they're not a good team.
This is still the NFL, and the Bucs, they're due for a loss, man. They're due for a loss.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I do hate it because I have Bucs -3 in that game.
You know what?
I think they cover that easy.
Take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I will. Elkins?
Yeah, nothing else on the college aspect, just because there's one game with two possible bets, unless you're into the props. But yeah, getting into the NFL, Broncos -8. We're still those guys, and we're playing the Lions, who are coming off their first and what's going to be their only win this year. Yeah, Broncos -8 at home. Broncos aren't out yet.
No,
It pains me to say it, but we're not done yet. If we
I feel
can,
like everybody's behind right now,
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like the whole league is.
yeah.
unless you're
Both-
the Lions.
If we could have picked
Yeah,
off,
I mean,
if we could have picked that
Jets.
one off Sunday
Yeah.
night against the Chiefs, that would have been big. But I mean, we've got games, we have opportunity. Just got to take care of business. But it starts by beating the Lions, and not just beating them by 2 touchdowns. So Broncos -8.
My next bet goes into there's a team that Dylan just absolutely despises in the NFL. There's one team and one team only
Hate
that
'em.
he absolutely, well, I'd say 2 teams, and these 2 teams are playing this week. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take the lesser of 2 evils I think Dylan hates, and the underdog in this game, the Baltimore Ravens. They're a better football team.
No, I hate the Ravens. Well, let me correct you. I hate the Ravens a million times more than I hate the Ravens. But
Really?
I will say I did not have any ill will towards Browns fans until I went to the Browns Titans game and they were yelling racial obscenities at my boy Derrick Henry. Not a fan of that. So I don't like them for that, and they kicked our ass. But no, Ravens, I hate them so much. But I also have Ravens +2.5 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got Ravens money line +115. Like I said,
I'm taking money on. What am I doing?
We are underdog heavy this week. Elkins
+115.
+115. Elkins, you want to ride it with us?
No, but you
it.
can't spell underdog without under. I think it goes under 42.
Fair enough. I do like that.
That was a good little quip right there.
That was.
That's creative. I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the Browns don't know how to score. Ravens have a good defense. Shout out Marlon Humphrey. He's done for the year. That's one of my favorite corners. Class guy, great guy. But Baltimore's got a great defense. Browns have been playing only defense. It's just offense optional in that division, and it's just straight Black Air Force One energy in every one of those games. Like it's just a fight, like every game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just gonna go
up in the north, the Timbs.
Timbs. Yeah,
I love the Timbs.
Yeah. I could see like something dumb, 1914 final. But yeah, it's going under. I don't know who wins.
Yeah. I got that.
I like that. So let me get to my next pick here. We talked about America's game, Army versus Navy. Let's talk about America's team. That's a pretty good one, right? That's not terrible. Cowboys been on a skid for a while now. Obviously lost Thanksgiving game. Heartbreaker. I think the skid stops against a very lackluster football team. Literally, their name's football team. So give me the Cowboys -3.5. And here's the thing with Washington. People are starting to think Washington's good, but if you would actually watch the games, they're not. They're winning games. They're I don't know how to say this. Like they shouldn't be winning these games because they're not playing well enough. The other team they're playing just chokes and just does not want to try to win the game.
Yeah.
I don't think Washington's good. I don't think Heineke's a good quarterback. I think I love Cowboys -3.5 here. They might win by double digits in this game.
Good point. So I'm going to go to a game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are coming off of an insane win this past weekend, just a
hangover.
bad win. And when you say hangover, I'm gonna correct you when you say hangover.
Do you say hair of the dog?
Big Ben has found his swagger again. He's found his youth.
In his last year.
Big Ben going to Minnesota. Give me the Steelers +145. We are under.
Let me ask you, Mal. So you think the Vikings drop 2 games in a row against two terrible teams? Really?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
All right. In Minnesota again?
In Minnesota, bro. The Vikings. I am still under the impression that the Vikings, I don't want to say are fraudulent, but they're fraudulent pending.
No, they are fraudulent. I've said this. I was talking about this last night. Kirk Cousins, bro.
Like who?
How does that man still have a job?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand. He's since he's been in Minnesota, they have accomplished. Wait, hold on, let me draw it up. There's nothing.
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 His career is carried by his playoff wins in Washington.
And that one meme.
Because you like that. You like that.
You like that. You like
that.
That'll never die. That's so classic.
No, yeah, that's
his whole career got carried by that.
That is. What you got, Elkins?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've only given him 3 picks. But this next one I am a huge fan of, and shout out all my boys that are big Giants fans. There's a hole in the system, and I don't think really anybody's seen it yet. And 10.5 is way too much for the Giants. Way too much.
Do you guys want to know something? Do you guys want to know something?
Hold on. Let me close this point. The crossover between NFC East and AFC West, huge hole in the system. The Giants have played every single team in this division close, including the Chiefs. They only lost by 3. They beat the Raiders. Lost to the Broncos week 1, whatever. I think if we played again, it would be a very close game. But they're playing the Chargers, they're just up and down. I don't know. I think 10.5 is way too much.
I just added that to my card. I love that.
I
was thinking that earlier. Yeah.
Mike Glennon might be playing though. He's the truth.
So let me entice you. Let me get your tongues out. Let me throw a little salt on your tongues. Take this in. You want to know why I'm taking the Giants at plus 375 money line in this game?
Oh my God!
Like this. Let's go.
Do you know
With Mike
why?
Glennon starting, Mel?
Do you know why? I don't know yet. He might be questionable though.
Because he's not starting.
Yeah, I don't think he actually is starting. But Daniel Jones is still listed as doubtful.
Do you know who the Giants have picked up and are preparing to start?
Oh my God! Say it, Mal.
The Giants have picked up Jake Fromm and are preparing to start for this game. And for that reason and that reason only, I am taking the Giants at plus 375 in this game. Jake Fromm, when he is announced a starter, I will most likely go in and hammer his passing total. Because one reason, Jake Fromm is a system quarterback. In the NFL, I'm telling you, you just put this man in the right system.
We're calling the Giants.
God, no. God, no. Don't hear me say that. But I feel like we're going to see enough out of Jake Fromm. I feel like that man's been grinding. I feel like that man has been absolutely grinding. And I feel like we're going to see it pay off this weekend. If you watched him in the preseason, he did not look too terribly bad.
Let's just hope his messages don't get leaked for the game. He doesn't get kicked off the game.
Bro. Somebody needs to go help that man. Somebody needs to go help that man. I heard something's very blue. I don't know if it's his balls or what it is, but something's very blue. And somebody needs to go help that man.
His jersey is blue.
Yeah.
His jersey's blue this week.
It is now.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, dude, I can't help but take that. Plus 375 money line.
The only thing that scares me is it's in LA. That's the only thing. But
even better, bro.
Gender neutral bathrooms.
Mercy.
Oh, we're going to
Mercy. Roll it back onto the road.
I've been to a lot of places in this country, and there's only one place where they just have bathrooms, not separate. It's LA. Everywhere else has bathrooms for everyone. They just have it's just strange. Listen, if it was normal, everyone in the country would be doing it, but it's not. So
I mean, I'm just like as a girl, the last thing we want to do is just walk in and smell one of Dylan's poops.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a courtesy thing at this point. I mean, come on, guys.
Jeez. So my next pick, going back to the city that never sleeps, the Big Apple. Let's talk about a team that does sleep, though. The New York Jets. They've fallen asleep for weeks over and over again. Shout out to all my Jets friends out there. You guys have been through the ringer. Shout out my boy Noah. Listen, Saints -5 is a play here, easily. Saints have been iffy these past few weeks. I think they looked pretty with Taysom Hill at quarterback. I think they are good enough to beat the Jets by more than 5 points. That's just less than a touchdown. So, give me the Saints -5 this week.
All right. Well, I'm going to take it out to a little place with an arrowhead for a stadium. We've got the Raiders going in to play Jackson Mahomes. Oh, shit. No, Patrick Mahomes. My bad. I've been watching too much TikTok.
I can't believe we just did that.
Okay, look. In all seriousness here, Kansas City Chiefs, like we said last week, they're back. The Chiefs are back.
I hate that they're back, but they're back.
They're back.
They're back. They're back. We hate it. We hate it. We don't want it to be true. I don't want it to be true, which is exactly why I'm taking the Las Vegas Raiders plus 330 money.
Whoa, he's just throwing the underdogs. What?
I told you we are.
You better parlay all these, Mal.
No shot in hell.
Dude, if it hits the juice on that, hey, and
you might get posted on BR betting.
I got to shout out Alabama's basketball team as well, because if you parlayed Alabama basketball and Alabama football against the Bulldogs this last Saturday, huge juice, plus 1,200. I'm proud to say I know a few people that hit that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Huge.
Nice.
I don't have any more bets. So.
Elkins, do you have any more?
I've got a couple more.
Okay.
And one that I would like to get some of y'all's input on. Texans plus 7.5. I think these are two very bad teams. Seahawks, they just beat the 49ers, and I don't really know how.
Hangover?
Yeah, they're just not finishing with a winning season. They probably get the win in Houston, but 7.5, I don't see them winning by more than 7. Yeah.
I mean, that's.
I don't hate it.
So give me the Texans.
All right. I'm gonna go to a little state. You know, a couple states.
Little
up
state
to the right of us. A couple states up and to the right of us. We're going to North Carolina this week for the Falcons and the Panthers. A lot of you guys, if y'all can see the trend here, you know where I'm going here. Falcons are plus 130 money line. We're taking the under 42.5 in this game. The Falcons offense has not looked good. Neither has the Falcons defense, but the Carolina offense has not looked good.
You know what's going to be hilarious, Mal?
What?
When Kenny Pickett's the quarterback of Falcons next year. Also, can we talk about how bad of a hire Brent Venable is at Oklahoma? Oh, it's laughable. The guy's coach defense in the ACC. Oh, let's get my head coaching job in SEC.
He's past his prime. I mean, he was genuinely very good in 15, 16.
Yeah.
But man,
hold on.
Oklahoma's down bad, and they're going to the SEC.
I did see something too. What is with all these colleges going out and hiring old ass white guys?
Not Notre Dame.
Not Notre Dame. I'm not even talking about take race out of it. Old ass guys in general. Just bro,
Brian Kelly.
Bring some youth into your program, man.
I really thought Will Healy would get a bigger job this year out of Charlotte's head coach, but he didn't. That surprised me.
I mean, bring some youth into your program. It's ridiculous. I mean, I get it. These guys are proven, tested, but take a chance like Florida did with Billy Napier. I mean, he's a young, energetic guy. You need to get a coach that's going to be able to go to your fans and jump up in the stands. You know, I mean, we've seen Kirby Smart do that, and Kirby Smart's, he's middle-aged. Saban doesn't do that anymore, but Saban's a special fucking case here. Okay, Alabama fans, y'all heard me say it. Nick Saban's the GOAT. All right.
So whenever all of you self-absorbed people are not happy with us winning the game by 1 point, you could kiss your own ass. He didn't actually say that, but yeah. And we immediately followed up with a 2-point win over Auburn, which is just hilarious.
Yes.
And it's great.
Doing goat things, man. All right, let's rattle through these picks.
All right, I got 2 more, Mal. How many do you have?
I'm still, like I said. So Falcons are plus 130 money line. So with that being said, we're taking the under 42.5. Falcons offense sucks. Falcons defense sucks. Panthers offense sucks. It's just going to be a low scoring game. But we're also taking Falcons money line because, why the hell not? We're hammering the underdogs this week. It's going to be the week of the underdog.
And never forget, you can't spell underdogs without under.
Without under. And then I've got one more pick. Elkins has got one more pick.
I've got 2 more, actually.
2 more. Okay.
Get them back to back. Then we'll finish with is Lau there to give his last pick, or is he gone?
No. These are mouse.
Okay.
These are mouse picks.
Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Hermie.
Hermie.
The Bears are really bad, and they're 3 seasons away. They'll be in the playoffs within the next 3 years, but they're not sniffing it this year, and they're not even going to be close in the game on Sunday night against the Packers. Packers are going to win this game by 24. It's going to be one of the most boring Sunday night football games you watch all year. But the Packers.
Wait, question. When can we start flexing games? When does that happen? Soon, right?
Do what?
What was the question?
When can we start flexing games?
Flexing games?
Yes.
Like
You guys
flexing?
don't know what that means. Are we serious? You guys don't know what that means? So serious, if there's it's like a boring matchup in primetime, they'll be like, all right, we're pushing you back to 1 o'clock. We'll bring this matchup, flex it to like primetime game.
Oh.
They start doing that after a certain. I guess don't even answer the question if you didn't know what it was.
Well,
Never mind,
well,
then.
they'll start doing like not this week, obviously, but the following week they're gonna have NFL games on Saturdays.
Electric.
So I didn't know if that was what you're talking about or what.
Electric.
But yeah,
The only NFL game I've ever been to was a Saturday night game when Mike Vick was still playing for the Falcons against the Cowboys.
I wouldn't even go. I wouldn't even
NFL
go
game
to
you've
another.
The only NFL.
I've never
That's the only NFL
been
game
to an
I've
NFL game.
What?
Seriously, I've never even been to an NHL.
No. You guys
NHL.
got to go to Titans game. Titans game for the move.
Oh, dude, I will. Whenever we get to Nashville, we will.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I would. Let's do this, Dylan. Let's
go.
go see. You're gonna be living close to Nashville or in Nashville next year, like in a year from now.
Same.
Both of y'all are.
Yeah.
Let's catch the Preds and the Titans.
Let's do it. We'll do a weekend of that. Sounds gas. But yeah.
Yeah. Let me kill these final 2 picks. Yeah, Packers. Yep. Packers 12.5 Sunday Night Football in Green Bay. This rivalry really hasn't been close in recent years. Packers win by 3 touchdowns. Final pick of the week. Cardinals -3 Monday night. Lock it up. Kyler Murray's playing. Rams, most inconsistent team in the NFL. When they picked up OBJ, they lost the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So you see, I'm going to take a team. Kind of like you said too. They've been inconsistent, but I mean they're still very talented. Just a very talented team. And that team. You know what that team is? That team is the Rams. That team is the Rams. You know what? You know what? And the Rams are plus 125 money line.
It's good juice. Like that's a good pick.
Great juice. Great juice. The Rams money line just feels right this week. I don't know why. Maybe you know why? Because it's the week of the underdog. And you want to know why? Because Mal said it.
Not Lau.
Mal said it. Not Lau. Mal.
No, Lau's the college football expert. He had Bama money line. He's the guy.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So I just actually spoke with Lau. Y'all missed that conversation. So anytime anything reasonable needs to be said, we'll get Lau onto the show.
Okay.
Just
season 2?
Yeah, season 2. Anytime anything reasonable needs to be said, we'll get him on the show. But if Lau's not here, you can expect me to say Georgia's going to beat Michigan 42-10.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Thanks. I don't know. I think that's it. Any closing remarks? Next episode, I don't know if we'll do one. Let's see. We will do one next week because all the bowl games start then. So yeah. Closing remarks.
Also, hey, I do want to. So we'll set a bowl pick'em up. We need to go ahead and do that. Set the bowl pick'em up. We'll find something to do for the winner. We'll put it out on our Twitter. Would you not agree with that?
Yes.
We'll put it out on our Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Bowl pick'em. We'll find something for the winner. Whoever wins this, whether that be a piece of merch, if we even have merch yet.
Loading.
We're getting there. Loading. But we'll find something to give out for the winner of the bowl pick'em. We'll all be in it. So yeah.
Yep. Dude, this can be electric.
Nice.
It's gonna be electric. I can only imagine March.
What we can just start like a little league, right, on ESPN. Just people join.
Yeah. It's kind of like March Madness. Yeah.
Perfect. We'll do that for all our listeners. We need to come up with a name for our listeners. I feel like every podcast has that. The liners.
Dude, I was really just thinking that, and in my head, when I was thinking that, I said that's lame as hell.
Yeah, it's so lame.
And then you said it, and I was like, God, no, why would you do that?
It's so lame.
Guys, We'll get back with you guys on that next week.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm something.
We'll
Ella, you have
brainstorm.
any ideas?
I'm thinking of some things. I just don't want to say anything rash and become a meme.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that will do it. Listen, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Be smart with your bankrolls. Be smart with your bets. And we will see you season two next week.